Hello, my name is Aubrey. I'm so glad you're here because today I want to talk about all of my most anticipated 2024 spring releases. This video is going to contain fantasy releases for April, May, and June. I have a part 1 to this video for January, February, and March if you want to watch that to see if you missed any. I'll have it linked down below as well as all of the books that I mentioned today in this video. Alright, the first book I have for you is Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell, and this is coming out on April 2nd. I won't lie, I was very drawn in by the cover for this one. It's about a shape-shifting monster, Sheshishin, who, quote, happily resides as an amorphous lump at the bottom of a ruined manor. I love it already. That is, until some monster hunters show up and run her out of her home and off of a cliff. Injured, she finds a warm-hearted human woman named Homily, who nurses her back to health. As the two become closer, Homily confesses that she is hunting a shape-shifting monster that cursed her family. Sheshishin didn't curse her family, and in order to give the two of them a chance to be together, she needs to figure out where this lie started or their lives could be in danger. The synopsis strikes me as very dark and weird and quirky, which honestly is just like a perfect trifecta for me personally. I hope to really enjoy this one. Next, I have a much anticipated release, The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. This comes out on April 9th. We're following Louisa Catado, a scullion who uses scraps of magic to get through her endless workday. When her mistress discovers Louisa's talent for miracles, she insists that those gifts be used to improve the family's social standing. She soon turns the head of a disgraced secretary to Spain's king, who will stop at nothing to regain the king's favor. Louisa is plunged into a world of seers and alchemists, holy men and hucksters, where the lines between magic, science, and fraud are never certain. But as her notoriety grows, so does the danger that her Jewish blood will doom her to the Inquisition's wrath. She will have to use every bit of her wit and will to survive. I absolutely love Leigh Bardugo. This is a highly anticipated one for me personally. I think it's a highly anticipated one for a lot of you out there as well. And it will be here very, very soon. Next, I have Dragon Fruit by Micaiah Lucier. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. This is coming out on April 9th. This is a romantic fantasy inspired by Pacific Island mythology. Hanalei of Tamarind, a cherished daughter of an old island family, is forced into exile when her father steals a sea dragon egg meant for an ailing princess. Many years later, a chance encounter with a female dragon offers her a chance to return home and right a terrible wrong. Sam, the last prince of Tamarind, can never take the throne because it is a matriarchal society. When his mother falls ill, he has two choices: marry or find a cure for his mother's illness. When Hanalei returns from exile, she brings with her something that he has not felt for a very long time: hope. In the old tales, it is written that the egg of a sea dragon, dragon fruit, holds within it the power to undo a person's greatest sorrow. But as with all things that offer hope when hope is gone, the tale came with a warning. Every wish demands a price. Okay, so first of all, the cover. She is drop dead gorgeous. Second of all, this just sounds really interesting. It sounds unique and fun. I love a good dragon and or sea dragon in a fantasy story, so I'm really eager to check this one out. Next, I have The Hemlock Queen by Hannah Witten. This comes out on April 11th. This is the second book in the Nightshade trilogy, the first book being The Foxglove King. This is a romantasy series, I believe. If not technically romantasy, I think it has a pretty heavy romantic subplot. I'm gonna be completely honest, I read the synopsis for this book for this video like 10 times, and I found it kind of confusing, and I was struggling to condense it into a digestible synopsis, so I'm just gonna read you the tagline. In this lush, romantic, epic fantasy series from a New York Times bestselling author, a young woman's secret power to raise the dead plunges her into the dangerous and glamorous world of the Sainted King's royal court. I've heard some mixed things about book 1, but I still have my eye on this series, and I would like to check it out once it's done. Next, I have The Book That Broke the World by Mark Lawrence. This comes out on April 11th. This is the second book in the Library trilogy, the first book being The Book That Wouldn't Burn. The synopsis for the first book is pretty vague, so I'm just gonna read it as is. A boy has lived his whole life trapped within a vast library older than empires and larger than cities. A girl has spent hers in a tiny settlement out in the dust where nightmares stalk and no one goes. The world has never noticed them. That's about to change. Their stories spiral around each other across worlds and time, This is a tale of truth and lies and hearts, and the blurring of one into the other. A journey on which knowledge erodes certainty, and on which, though the pen may be mightier than the sword, blood will be spilled and cities burned. I've heard really good things about that first book. Anything having to do with like mysterious or magical libraries sounds wonderful to me, and I'm really looking forward to picking this trilogy up once it's finished. Next, I have Song of Six Realms by Judy I. Lin, and this comes out on April 23rd. This is the same author who wrote A Magic Steeped in Poison, and man, has she been blessed with some of the prettiest covers I've ever seen. We're following Zhu, a talented musician who's been forced into indentured servitude. One night, she is called to put on a performance for Duke Mang, a young man of nobility. He gives her an offer that she cannot refuse. Serve as a musician in residence at his manor for 1 year, and he'll set her free of her indenture. Once Zhu is whisked off to his estate, however, she discovers that he's not just some country noble. He's the Duke of Dreams, one of the divine rulers of the Celestial Kingdom. The Six Realms are on the brink of disaster, and the Duke needs Zhu's help to unlock memories from her past that could hold the answers to how to stop the impending war. This sounds pretty good. I feel like I'm more interested in this one than I was in Magic Steeped in Poison. I do want to check that duology out at some point, but this one has some like really intriguing elements for me. Next, I have The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. This comes out on May 14th. The Honey Witch of Innisfree can never find true love. That is her curse to bear. When a young woman who doesn't believe in magic arrives on her island, sparks fly in this deliciously sweet debut novel of magic, hope, and love overcoming all. The cover for this book looks like Miss Honey's cottage from Matilda. So that was one thing that brought me in, and honestly, if you put witch in the title of anything, my interest is immediately piqued. Next, I have You Like It Darker, Stories by Stephen King, and this comes out on May 21st. This is a short story collection by King, and personally, I'm a huge fan of King's shorter works. I feel like that's where he really shines as a writer. This new collection of 12 stories will delve into the darker parts of life, both metaphorical and literal. These stories explore fate, morality, luck, and the folds in reality where anything can happen. They are as rich and riveting as his novels, both weighty in theme and a huge pleasure to digest. Next, I have Evocation by S.T. Gibson. This comes out on May 28th. As a teen, David was a psychic prodigy, operating under the shadow of his oppressive occultist father. Now, rapidly approaching his 30th birthday, the devil has come to collect on an ancestral deal. He reaches out to the only person he's ever trusted, his ex-boyfriend Rise. The only way to get to Rise, however, is through his wife Moira. Thrust into each other's care, emotions once buried deep resurface, and the trio race to figure out their feelings for one another before the devil steals David away for good. I absolutely adored A Dowry of Blood. I am really looking forward to both of S.T. Gibson's books that are coming out this year, and this one specifically sounds like a lot of fun. Next, I have Mirrored Heavens by Rebecca Roanhorse. This comes out on June 4th. This is the finale to the Between Earth and Sky trilogy, the first book being Black Sun. The Between Earth and Sky trilogy is inspired by the civilizations of pre-Columbian Americas and woven into a tale of celestial prophecies, political intrigue, and forbidden magic. I have been eagerly awaiting for this trilogy to finish so that I can binge it, and I'm very excited that I'll finally be able to try this one out. Next, I have Running Close to the Wind by Alexandra Rowland, and this is coming out on June 11th. Avra Helvachi has accidentally stolen the single most expensive secret in the world. The only place to flee with a secret that big is the open sea. Avra asks for help from his on-again, off-again ex, the pirate captain, Tivari Az-Hafar, to find a buyer with deep enough pockets. They hatch a plan to take the information to the Isle of Lost Souls. However, three things stand in their way. Number one, a calculating new Aristi ambassador who's got his eyes on Ari's every move. Number two, Brother Julian, a beautiful and mysterious new member of the crew with secrets of his own. And number three, the fact that they're sailing straight into sea serpent breeding season and almost certain doom. If they can find a way to survive and sell the secret on the black market, they'll be as wealthy as kings, and more importantly, they'll be legends. This one sounds so much fun. I saw a tagline on the audiobook specifically that was comparing it to Our Flag Means Death and Six of Crows. Which are two of my favorite things, and that is like quite high praise. I don't know if I want to go into this one with those high of expectations, but I am excited to try it out and see for myself if it's as fun as it sounds. So those are all of my anticipated releases for this upcoming spring season. Please let me know if there are any books that I missed or what books you are most looking forward to. Like I said, there was a part 1 to this video, which I will leave for you right here in case you want to see if there are any books that you might have missed out on. Please like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I hope to see you next time. Bye!